Hello friends, welcome back to Rinard. We're going to be kind of all over the place, so there will be some jump cuts, but first we need to talk about what the city fathers have been discussing, because realize there's a lot of traffic coming in from the highway over there. And they want to facilitate that, but also they want to protect the quietness of the city somewhat. So they're going to make a short, limited connection highway. But they're going to do that by buying some territory and then building a connection here to the highway. We'll try to do what we've got there. And so, with that said, we're going to have an on-ramp here, and we will go from there. But so let's go ahead, we'll get the highways started. We're going to do a two-laner, we're going to do two directions with a little offset. We're going to make it so that they can connect in. We're going to raise this up a little bit to clear the train tracks, and then go back down. I'm going to do a curve. Turn off the curve before we try to click that would be a good call. Alright, now we have this bridge. 2-lane highway, one-way suspension bridge, 3-lane highway, one-way suspension bridge. These are 2 lanes, so if we do this, what's it complaining? Overlapping items. All right. We'll come back, I guess. Looks to me like we're going to have to buy some property. And that's okay. It's in the budget. They talked with the prefecture. It was planned for. Let's build our interchange here. Let's get the highways connected. Alright, that should speed things nicely along. And then that can connect over there. Let's upgrade these. We'll also want to make sure we've got some connection abilities here. Let's see if that reduces some of our traffic flow. However, can we upgrade this? Is that a possibility? I have to build that separate. We're going to have some takers for this. First people flying down the road. Look at that. Can see people coming onto it already. Never heard of towing anything with a muscle car, but that's one way to live your life. Now, we'll make some connections when we get over here closer to town. Facilitate people bypassing some of the areas. That should make life easier in a lot of ways for some folk. In fact, Town Fathers will take that first leap right here. Buy up that property there. And we can do a second purchase there, but we'll do a quick trumpet interchange here. That was weird. All right. See if our friend here redirects their traffic at all. You coming? Should be rounding that bend any minute soon. There he is. Where are you headed? Heading over to... Well, that's one way to live your life. Come in on the highway and then jigger all the way over there. But hey, point is, we're making it so that people can access the city in other ways. Taking some stress off this traffic. Letting people not come down this road here as well. To give this road a little more peace and quiet. To give a little more peace and quiet here in Mutono. Which doesn't seem to be working, but we're trying. So, we've done some expansion here in Bremenberg and in Holsteinberg, but we are adding in other areas as well. Let's go ahead and do our little sneaky rejigger. Thank you for being so loud in my ear. Kind of grown together and become one city in a way. We got a fire. Oh no! It looks like the Wallaces had a fire and it's forcing everyone else to leave because there's a fire! Will they get support for this? Will someone come and save them? We'll see. Probably not. Probably do a city one right here. That would certainly help things. City fathers have been asked to rejigger the boundaries. Look at that. We've rejiggered the boundaries of Bremenberg and Holsteinberg. They like their office corners. But they also like to have some of their mid-block commercial zoning, but there's not really much desire for commercial zoning right now. So I'm kind of surprised that that's even taking ground. But those will fill in, and that's Bremenberg and Holsteinberg for us. Lindenville's decided they want to grow a little bit. Good growth coming in there. You can see we've got Chateau du Lac that seems to be doing pretty well as far as living arrangements. We got our new bridge that came in. City fathers spent a fair penny while we were away. Put in a nice, beautiful, grand bridge. They've done some redirection on the tram line here. Although let's look at our tram line and see how that's doing as far as volumes go. It seems like we're pretty heavily done, so let's up that up. Because if they want up to 56, generally it seems like we go about halfway and that loads it in pretty well, so we can do that. That'll give those people riding the tram a little more room. And tram will come along here. There's a stop there to help. Should put another one here really quick, actually, if we didn't. Let's look. Oh, there's that one there. I think it might be better to have it off on the side street. Personally speaking. Got some weirdness going here on this tram line. Look at that. Why is it looping twice? That's a concern. Friends, I think we're gonna have to kill this lion. Give me a second. Alright, friends. Done a little bit of a jump here. As you recall, we've got our different schools here at the university. Gonna ignore the calls for the hospital. Rinard's grown. Rinard's almost 400,000 people big at this point. We've had to put in a bunch of elementaries, but I just wanted to show you how things have evolved a little bit. We've added in a new roundabout here because we wanted to have more direct access to the downtown, an alternative to this one over here where it was getting crowded. We installed a post facility here, we installed a mortuary here, we did some farms here. We've added in this little row of farms here, Softans and Superstein. Convinced good old Whittington to let them add in a little bit of farming area there. Lustbaderkirk also welcomed in Softans. And we had some expansion here with Grünkuch and Duvelbuch. And just, you know, generally welcoming in the different farming opportunities. The Whittington Industrial Complex, geographically, is a little bit bigger. I'm taking in that land there, and I don't know if the City Fathers want. But I wanted to just kind of show you those. Those are some changes there in the downtown. And then, as you can see, we've got Lustbaderkirk is kind of growing a little bit. It expanded just a skosh, added in some more residential. Could probably do with some more. Probably add some more. We've got a recycling center here. We've got more petroleum, and we've got more tree farms, and we've got more stones. We've done some more industrial here on this end. We haven't done a whole lot of changes here. We have added in some more farms out this way. And on this end, we've added in this whole neighborhood here, right off of Bremenberg Strand. As you can see, that's kind of filled in a bunch, and we've got some connections into the townhomes that were put in by Keaton Planning Associates. They've left this part of the shoreline untouched. It might grow in the future, we'll see. This is our park. We've built it in quite nicely. It's a simple park, but you know, we've got the various and sundry little sports facilities. We've got some nice pedestrian roads going through to make it very user-friendly for people to come in and use the area. We've got the public amphitheater here. We've got the restaurant. There is talk about adding in a couple more amenities into the park, but otherwise, Holsteinberg is very happy with the park. As you can see, we've expanded it out here, and Bremenberg and Holsteinberg are very well built in. We've got a much stronger downtown area here in Bremenberg. And then we had a revitalization project go in where we brought in a bunch of office space right here next to the highway, almost as a sound buffer of sorts, which is really cool. We've also got this area here that filled in with housing. Nice little neighborhood. It doesn't have a name, but it is part of Bremenberg. but it does service all of the industrial and office complex here. Otherwise, Brothers Woods is Brothers Woods. We've got some interesting pathways going here. No. There's a... Looks like there's a little cart outside the mysterious house now. And, a tent outside of it? Apparently, that's... I don't understand what this building is. I don't understand how it's even here. But there's a tent, there's the graveyard, there's the house, and there's a little food cart where they're selling stuff, apparently. Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. As for the downtown, as you can see, we've expanded. We've got Le Coin Nouveau. They kind of separated themselves from the downtown to have more of a self-autonomy there. We've got Rive Ouest, which takes in a big, huge area of mortuary services. Kind of crazy. Covenant is expanded just a little bit, as you can see. We've got Lakeshore that's doing well. We've got Saint-Agathe-des-Prés that's also grown a little bit. Look at that little park that they've got there. Nice little cross-connect between the two segments. And then, this road stemmed in after a while, after New Brooklyn joined. We had another city asked to join, and that's Eau Claire. And as you can see, Eau Claire has a mix of different types, but it's a nice little city right here in the middle, and it does connect over here to Moutonneau. And then we've got a paper plant that has come in. And the paper plant, of course, is making good use of North Notes paper and Peasant planks. We had an industrial district developed here as well with their little special off-ramp that looks absolutely hideous. Not sure who designed it, it was me. But it was totally awful and I totally hate it. And that comes over here, and as you can see, things have kind of built in a little bit here with the church and then all the different services here in Chateau du Lac. Chateau du Lac, of course, is doing well. That's interesting that they're dying off already. Huh. Interesting. But Chateau du Lac, as you can see, there's been a little expansion here. They've added it in. In fact, there was one thing I was going to add. I was going to add in a little shack. But I needed it to match the others. So let's see, that's the right color. But as you can see, Chateau du Lac also expanded a little bit and offered a little more in the way of residences. Just a little more bump. I think Monsieur Dulac is in contract negotiations to open this area up. Possibly even talking with the prefecture about running a connection across here to facilitate a highway connection in, so that people can come more directly to these cities and not have to go through Moutonneau. But the other thing I did want to show you is, of course, typical for the Dulacs. They have built themselves a mansion. They've built themselves a big mansion with a pool. Way too many rooms considering all of the children from Phil and Karen's marriage are grown, and of course Dulac didn't have any with Karen. But there you go. So that's Chateau Dulac with a literal modern type of chateau. But it sounds like there are plans afoot to expand the vineyard into this area here. And maybe further out. We'll see what happens there. As I showed you earlier, we've built in some of the area here, here in Lindenville. And Wolfenburg is about the same size as ever. The coastline's about the same size, so that's kind of the changes that have happened. Oh, we did have the prefectures reached out on behalf of the presidents, because Louisiana has a council of presidents. There's the first president, and then there's the prefect of each of the grand prefecture that the département are parts of. And so the prefect of the department of Osage reached out to the city fathers of Rinard and asked them if they could site this nuclear plant here as a means to power this part of the country. And the city fathers did agree. It's way on the outskirts. It does facilitate having it be nighttime and not, dying, because otherwise our town is entirely solar powered. There's talk about making this more of a recreative space, even with a nuclear plant right there. But we'll see what happens. But friends, this is Rinard. This is our beautiful city that has grown and become much more beautifuler over time. We will be back. We'll visit periodically. You can see that the Nouvelle Coin, Neuf Carré, I should say, has grown in as well. But like I say, it's growing, it's changing. I expect to do little updates, maybe little postcards from Rinard. Very probable that this will be developed into an industrial usage and have more traffic that way. There's talk of maybe even a subway for Rinard, because you've got two big hubs. You've got one here, and then here. So this city's growing, friends. It's growing. It's doing big things. Very, very pleased with our city. As you can see, we've gotten some other buildings offered to us. And I think we're going to go ahead and fit this one into an area where it would actually seem to fit the vibe, which is here right by the hospital. So we're going to put that in, because doesn't that look like it fits really well? Just that new modernist kind of look. But friends, this is Rinard. This is our city. This is our beautiful city of Rinard. Just joyful to me to see how it's grown, how we've welcomed in all these old villages. Just beautiful. Trains going by, people traveling around. Thanks for being here on this trip. Thanks for getting to know my city of Rinard. Next week, we're going to pivot over to the city of Bientôt, because Louisiana is a forward-minded nation, and they've paired up with Japan in the efforts of going to space. And they're building a space launch complex down on the Gulf Coast in the Pays Lointain, two little exclaves of Louisiana right on the Gulf Coast that will allow them to launch rockets to support their space station, Tsushima, which is a joint collaboration with the Japanese Space Agency. So I look forward to having you there in Bientôt. Good times. But friends, thanks for being here. Can't say it enough. Thanks for being here. Glad to have you. Look forward to having you again. Just maybe not here in Rinard. Bye.